What's going on, good people? Good morning to you guys. Just giving you my setup, my rundown that I got right here. This is the Great Plains. Had this thing made. These units, I took off a 7100, and I had a buddy of mine to fabricate this whole thing. And as you can see, it worked out well. I done had this thing the last 3 to 4 years. As you can see, these are 7100 row units, and the row spacing is actually set on 20-inch spacing. And those of you guys that want to know my row spacing, like I'm telling you, I recommend 15, 20, and 30 on extend beans if you want that high yield potential. Once again, 15, 20, and 30 is about gonna be your best yield potential. And we was talking about a 38-inch spacing. You don't want that too wide of a gap, because for one, when you got too wide of a gap, you can't make canopy. And when you don't make canopy, your beans just tend to get grassy, and you have to do a whole lot of spraying, and you won't have no lapping of the middle. So if you want to make a good canopy, drop it down to about 15, 20, and 30. But this thing here is the lifeline. This is what I do my planting with. It's 30 foot wide, and you can see how it's made and everything. This thing is well built. All these units come off a 7100 planter, and as you guys can see, I done put new disc openers on them all the way around. You tell me I'm spending some money. All new disc openers this year. So you see them black shiny rascals? Every last one of those been replaced. And as you can see right here, it's a Great Plains 30 foot, but with a 20-inch row space, and those it has been well fabricated, as you can see. Man, I had a guy that done some awesome welding on this thing. But getting you guys like this morning, just getting everything a little prepared. Me, Dad done worked on this thing, and basically just doing maintenance, cause it's almost time for us. I'm gonna get started probably around the 15th of May. No, take it back, 15th of April. I'm sorry, not May. Cause last year I started planting around about April 17th, if I can remember when I wrote it down in my book. And so far, the only thing we lacking now is just getting a little odds in the end. We just put new tires on it and everything, and got it going. Now you can see my dog right there, Coco. How you doing, Mom? Coco don't want to cooperate this morning, guys. But if you check this thing, and the key to this, I try to tell a lot of people I want them. Row spacing makes a difference. 20-inch or 15 or 30 is definitely gonna be your best out. Man, when I say this thing is well kept, look inside the hoppers in this thing. Ain't not a rust spot nowhere in this thing, man. Love it. You know, a lot of people ask me, why don't you upgrade? This is my upgrade. I ain't gonna get you one of those 1790 planters. Nah. The population I got this thing setting what I got it planted on is equal, definitely almost equal to a 1790 on the seed population wise. And just to give you guys a heads up, those 7100 units are pretty much the same on the 1790. If you just look at them, just a little bit sleek, different design on them, but ain't much difference. And just newer features on them, like press wheels and all that. But it was asking me the other day, how deep am I planting? Just barely above the finger, about 1 inch and 1/8 at the most. And I recommend that, not no 2 inches and 3 inches like some folks planting. Man, I'm like, damn, what you trying to do? You trying to make your seed come up with stress? Cause you don't want to plant too deep, because it'd be a hard time for that seed come up out the ground. I can't stress it no more than I can stress it. But 1 inch, just barely over 1 inch, is about the best recommendation for planting and everything. And everybody has a preference on how deep they want to plant, but I recommend no deeper than 1.1/8 at the most. And so like when you check them, and I went by the book how to set these things on the 7100 units. That put me at 1.1/8 at the most, just barely over an inch. And with these gauge wheels, it's not gonna go no farther. As you can see right there, it's not gonna go no farther. It's barely over an inch, and that's what you want. And when I say this thing plant is quiet, well put together, fabricated, I done had this thing about 4 years. Man, no issues at all. No more than just basic mining, just greasing and everything. So you know, it doesn't take high-dollar equipment to make a crop. What you put in to make a crop. And like I tell you guys, fertility is your #1 friend right now. If you keep your fertility levels up, you're gonna see a crop. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have your drought years and everything else. That's part of the game. But as long as you do your part, everything else will work out. If you did have a bad year, you still compensate for that next year because you won't have to fertilize, because that fertilizer is not gonna leave too quick. So it's basically almost a win-win to keep from digging in your pockets, going deeper on fertilizer. So you know, those are the basics. I recommend y'all, I can't stress this enough. Get soil samples done. Don't be scared to get soil samples done. It ain't but $7, $8 a sample. So I mean, you know, that's cheap. Get some samples done, get them pulled, and go from there. Cause you don't want to just go out and be just planting anything and not have the right seed for it. People buy beans. Oh, this what beans are coming out. Oh, yada yada yada. But is it the right seed for your soil? You need to get the right seed for your soil. Like I was talking to Wade the other day, and one of the guys was trying to get him a different variety of bean. I said, no, do not fall for that game plan, because you're not gonna be the test trial of those beans that hasn't been tested nowhere else. Stick to the plan, 5214. And you know, not saying Wade didn't fall for it, but like Wade said, the guy was trying to put it on him, and when he called me, he said, man, this guy trying to put me on a different variety of beans. I said, no, hell no. Stick with those 5214. Don't worry about what he talking about, because he ain't talking about nothing. He just wants you to try some beans that never been tested. Don't fall for that. And salesmen will try to do that. And, you know, I ain't gonna say it had been tested, but it has been tested in our area to say where they have a good potential yield or whatever. But Wade knows the 5214 worked out great for him. So he gonna stick with that game plan. It's gonna work out. And this year, we're looking for everybody to have a blessed year. And another thing, those little press wheels right there, make sure they're not cracked or anything. Because when they're cracked, it doesn't cover up the seed too well. So you know, just go over your equipment. Just basic maintenance. Like I tell a lot of folks, just basic maintenance will help you prevent a lot of things. Like check your seed tubes when they drop down. Those little black rubber tube, check every last one of them. And as you can see, these great hard beans from last year, still treated. I put some in the dirt to see if they'll sprout. So we'll see in a few days they'll still sprout, because they was left in the hopper and I had vacuumed them out. That's my old generator. I used a shop vac. So you know, I just pulled everything out and just going over. You know, it pays to go over your equipment. This drill, where I ain't gonna say a drill, it was a drill that was set up on 10-inch spacing, but 9's on roll units that been well fabricated and welded. This is a 30-foot Great Plains setup, and it's well, man, I wouldn't trade this rascal for nothing in the world. So as you see right there, I got one cracked wheel. See how you just go over maintenance? It's out of whack. See, I gotta replace that one. You know, that's why I can't stress preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance. I'm telling you guys, go over your equipment. Just because it was running good last year, that don't mean it's set up good now, because see, I just showed you guys that cracked wheel, and it could have happened right after I got done planting. But you know, just go over your equipment. Take the time to do it. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. So you know, everything's gonna work out. Y'all gotta have a blessed day.